and we're good to go.
I can go?
Yes.
Okay, the time is 10:02 a.m. on Thursday, June 24, 2021. I'd like to call this Mayor's Golf Classic Funds meeting in order. The first order of business is to appoint a new committee chair. Are there any volunteers or nominations for committee chair?
I nominate Kula.
I second it.
Anybody else? Anyone?
I vote.
All right, may I have please have a motion to nominate a chair in the Mayor's Golf Classic Funds Committee. That committee member, me, Kula, be elected as chair for the Mayor's Golf Funds Committee 2018. Well, who's that? Sorry. Okay, moved by Rosalind, second by Barb. Any questions or comments?
You do a great job.
I'll call the vote.
Thank you very much for doing that.
Thank you. All in favor? Opposed? Favor? That carries. I will now pass the chair to me.
Thanks very much for doing that, Kula.
Thank you. At least I have a script. Makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Okay. This meeting is being held electronically as per section 19. I think it's I or 1, sorry, of the Town's Procedure Bylaw number 6228-19 as amended due to the COVID-19 situation. May I please have a motion to approve the agenda as circulated by the Legislative Services? Moved by Rosalind, second by Barb. Any questions or concerns? Or any questions or comments on the agenda?
Nope.
I'll call the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Favor? That carries. Are there any declarations or pecuniary interest?
No.
No.
May I please have a motion to receive the meeting minutes of May 27, 2021? Moved by Barb, second by Rosalind. Any questions or comments on the minutes? I'll call the vote. All in favor? That carries. Okay, we have one delegation. Delegation 5.1 is Ron Weiss, President, Sport Aurora, regarding item 6.1, application for Sport Aurora Incorporated. All Kids Can Play program. Please state your name and be reminded that you have, what is that? Sorry?
Hello.
Sorry,
Yeah.
just
I
left
was on
Mr. Weiss
on
in.
another line. Here, let me put on my video. There we go. Hi, everybody. My name's Ron Weiss. I live at 37 Larmont Street. I'm the president of Sport Aurora and the chair of the All Kids Can Play program. I've been asked to delegate today because I understand there are some questions about our application, and in particular related to, I think, a comment about administration. So perhaps I can explain the difference here. Sport Aurora and this program has been going for, I don't know, since 2012. And we've stated that every dollar that we get goes to the kids for funding families who meet the low income thresholds for us. We work with Welcoming Arms and Rotary Club and others to identify children who and families who are qualified for this. And in the past couple of years, we've received donations from various groups of people, some real estate people and others who suggest that, and when we suggested that they may want to sponsor rather than just give money for donations. So a sponsorship is when we receive money, and that money is used to advertise and promote the program through Welcoming Arms, through the paper, to both eligible recipients as well as possible donors. So we need to have a little money to make some money, and we need to have a little money to get people to apply. As you may understand, that when a parent wants their kid or 2 or 3 kids to participate in sport, talking about their financial ability to pay is a difficult conversation. So it takes some sensitivity on behalf of our executive director, who does all these applications, to reach out to them and to make sure that the application process is completed accurately, but also in a sensitive manner. So the only time we would use any money out of this fund for any purpose other than donation would be if the donor suggested that they wished that the part of their donation or all of their donation to go towards the outreach program. So there's really no administration. It's just an overhead cost that we have used. And in our budget, the overhead cost for this program and advertising, promotion, putting posters up, and the other things that need to be done is less than $1,000 a year. I think the budget is $750 a year. So out of the $72,000 that we have raised over the last 12 years for distribution to children, there's probably less than $4,000 or $5,000 total that we've spent on advertising, promotion, and outreach. So that's what I understood the delegation was about. But certainly, if you have any other questions about the program, how it's done, who does it, and where the money goes, we'd be happy to do that. I appreciate your diligence and even asking.
I have a question. Just wondering, with COVID, I think back when we first met with regarding this, when was that? I don't know when that was, but you know, we just weren't sure if organized sports for kids were open and running and that type of thing. So that's all a go now, is it? Our kids playing soccer and baseball? And
well, as a matter of fact, last Saturday we used our Resilient Communities Fund grant to do the All Sport One Day program, where we had 120 kids registered for a program that the government essentially only allowed us to have 60 kids in, because they were only in step 1. We were fortunate to get it in step 1. I understand on June 3rd we're going to step 2, which means it's going to be approaching normal. And so we have not done our outreach program to very much extent this year, because there was no sport going on. Mm-hmm. And so if there's no sport, there's no registration, then there's no registration, there's no applications. So now that registrations are going back, then we're expecting a flood of applications to come in as soon as this starts happening. So we're looking to get some money into that fund, because we're concerned that the demand may exceed the supply that we have right now.
Okay, yeah, because I think when we first discussed your application, we were a long way from step 1. So yeah, it's changed
that's
now.
True.
So that's good.
That's true. And you know, God willing, we're going to be into step 2 and then step 3 by the fall. And so we'll have a pretty normal fall and winter session with kids being out playing and being allowed to play in the indoor sports when the indoor sports are allowed back in September.
Is it safe to assume that, say the grant comes and we go into another lockdown, touch wood, we don't, but let's just say that money stays when things go back to normal? Like it stays?
This fund in our accounting, this fund is a separate account that we manage. It's there because we want to make sure that those funds remain in that fund and they're not used for any other purpose whatsoever. So this is a separate cost and revenue center in Sport Aurora that is maintained. So whatever money, I think we have something around $30,000 in that fund right now, which gives us about another year of work if under normal circumstances. And so that money remains in that account and is never used for any other purpose. It's just our promise to all of our donors and our sponsors.
The amount that you have requested was, if I'm not mistaken, was it 8?
5, I believe.
Was it 5,000?
Yeah, and that's based on history. We've
5,000.
asked for this $5,000 in years
Mhm.
gone by, and I think the last one was 2017. And so the number was just something that we felt was typical of previous applications. If there are, and I realize that there's probably, I don't even know if the Charity Golf Classic went on last year or whether it's going to be going on this year. So
No.
I have no idea about what your funds are remaining in the fund. So for me, if $5,000 is a little steep under the circumstances, then whatever the committee decides is helpful and is affordable for you, then we'd be quite happy to accept any amount. We just put that number in because it was typical.
This was one of our concerns because we don't have another golf charity event happening. We only have so much to play with, and we want to make sure we can spread it as far as it can go. With
Yeah,
the amount,
I understand. I agree with it. And I think if there's a finite amount, like there always
we're in
is,
a-
whatever.
my question is that with the amount of money that you requested, just roughly, I just want to know how many children can you help with the $5,000?
I think there, if you break it down, and again, the way that we operate this is similar to the way Jumpstart operates. This is for children only going into recreational activities. They must meet low-income thresholds, and they're only allowed in our system to have up to $300 of funding. And that's $300 per child per season. And so we do have some families who have 1 or 2 or 3 children in, and each one of those children are allowed because we don't want one kid to be singled out over another. And so in some cases, it could be as little as $180 if that's what the registration is. And in other cases, it could be as much as $900 for a family of 3. So if we look at what we've done in the past, that's why we suggest to you that if we have a typical run this year of applications, then we could very well be down under $10,000 or less in that fund. So we're a little concerned that the fund may be depleted pretty quickly if we get our a typical or even a more than typical response. So the number is around 33, we think, from an average gift. 33 families or 33 kids would be allowed with this $5,000.
Okay. Okay.
Are you a volunteer organization or are people paid? Are they paid positions?
There's one contracted person who works for Sport Aurora. That's Lori Mueller. She's our executive director. So she does pretty much everything that needs to be done by the organization. We have a couple of people, one person who does some social media. So we have to pay them a small amount, maybe $300 a month, I think, for them to post our social media. But that's basically it. We have one staff member to run. Remember, we have 42 sport organizations and we have a number of sponsors that we have to maintain. Plus we have other pillar programs such as our Breakfast of Champions, the volunteer sport recognition program, our women in coaching program. And so she manages all of those, but this fund is purely for providing funding to children and families in need.
Thank you.
So we call ourselves a volunteer driven, but a professionally managed organization.
Okay.
So
Okay.
You're asking for 5. Can I propose that we give them 3?
Barb?
Do we wait till the delegation is over before we start
That's what I was
discussing?
gonna, yeah, I was gonna say, that's,
Mhm.
Oh, I thought you was finished, sorry.
That's okay.
Well, let me thank you for the opportunity. I know it's important for you to do your diligence on these kinds of things. You're giving away vendors money, and I appreciate the opportunity to be able to talk to you today and explain who we are and what we do. So as I
Thank
said,
you, Ron.
whatever money that you decide to give will be thanked, and it will be used wisely in the community.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks very
Enjoy
much.
your day.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I wasn't sure what to do either. I was like, oh, do we discuss in front of him?
So
Okay.
we just need a motion to receive the presentation or the
Hold on.
delegation, excuse me.
I gotta get to my script, Mike. Where am I at now? Hold on. I am at.
Motion to receive.
All right. May I have a motion to receive the comments of the delegation? Moved by Barb, second by Rosalind. I'll call the vote. All in favor? That carries. All right.
Madam Chair, if I could, just in the interest of making sure the committee has all the information, it's my understanding the mayor is intending to run a charity golf tournament this fall. It's
Okay.
a much reduced number of participants. So I'm not exactly certain if that equates to about half the funding. If you have half the participants, is it half the funding? Seems right, but I'm not sure. But there is expected to be a tournament with funds coming to the fund after.
Okay. Okay, good to know.
Mike, can you also tell us, I thought there was something in an email that the money from the Community Cares was being transferred over to the golf tournament. And so what would be the balance currently in the golf tournament?
Through you, Madam Chair, that's correct, Barb. The balance right now is $20,786.21.
Okay.
20,786.21.
Correct.
That's what we have right now.
Yes, with a pending application, of course, that you're about to consider of 5,000. And nothing. I haven't received anything else.
No, okay.
So there is no money now in Aurora Cares.
No, it's been
No.
transferred back because it was
It's all
originally,
back to the golf where it starts.
yes.
So if I guess that we are still accepting or maybe get requests for Aurora Cares. Or maybe we probably haven't had
Yeah,
any recently, but
we haven't had very many, I don't think.
Yes, Mike?
Through Madam Chair, any Aurora Cares requests now would come to this committee.
That's right.
okay, all right, okay.
Okay. So now are we gonna discuss Rosalind's issue, point about changing the amount? Are we okay with the 5,000? Are we gonna lower it to the 3,000?
So
Well, I think when we originally considered this, like, as I said, we didn't really know whether it could be, the money would be used now, or if it would just, I was kind of thinking it's just going to go in their bank account and there's no sport happening anyways. And there might be some more COVID type places to put our money that are more closely related to COVID. But I certainly think that we should be giving them some money at this point,
Mm.
because sports are open to kids and it's a great
kids-
organization.
And kids need to get out and
Yeah.
play.
So I'm totally
So
in
can we-
favor of doing it,
can we say?
but I don't know about how much.
Me
Yeah.
neither. That's
So,
honestly,
Can
I my mind did go to 3,000. What Rosalind said, I was thinking that number.
or
Only
can we
just to
amend
make sure if
that?
anybody reaches out to help, we have money to help the rest.
Well, exactly, or can we say 3,000 now And if the mayor does have his golf tournament and it does generate some money, then perhaps we can consider 2 at that point. But
That I would be okay with that. Mike, is that okay if we do that?
Or they
I-
can just apply again.
That's through you, Madam Chair. I was just going to suggest what Barb suggested. The funding guidelines say they can receive money in 2 consecutive years. So and at 5,000 a year, I believe. So if they could reapply for another 2,000 after the tournaments happened. There's no deadline for applications. We take them at any time, and then we call a meeting on an ad hoc basis with the committee. So
Okay.
from that standpoint, I don't see an issue.
Okay.
they would have to apply again for the 2,000.
Yes. I know.
Well, I mean, like, why? That just seems, anyway, whatever. I propose 3,000 now.
Okay, sorry, guys. Shh. With them
Barb, what
having
do you
to
think?
reapply, do we? Sorry, guys.
Well, you know what, if they've made this application already, to reapply is not a lot of work for them because they can just use the same
Okay.
application they used
Exactly.
before and just submit it again. So I'm in favor of them reapplying. And they
too.
could reapply for 5,000 the next time, and maybe
Yeah,
we'll
we
be in
don't
a
know what we're
position
gonna be
where we feel
receiving.
comfortable giving them 5. So my advice was give them the 3,000 now and suggest that they can apply again, and they can, if I was them, I'd just apply for the 5,000 again and see what happens.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, you're right.
Exactly. Well, you never know. I
Okay.
mean, if the tournament makes some money and we don't have a whole lot of other requests,
Exactly.
then why not? But right now, we don't know. So I would, like I said, I would be more comfortable with 3 now, and then let's wait and see what happens when we open up again, and who knows? And
Yeah.
I guess my mind is going toward Aurora Cares as well. Because I think there's always a lot of need in that particular setting.
Mhm.
I agree. Okay,
We don't know what's going to happen. Are we going to have a 4th wave or whatever? And, people who are down on their luck will continue to be in need. So,
I mean, the
so are we
girls-
agreeing on $3,000?
Yeah,
Mike, is this where I go to 6.1 and I do the, may I have like the mover and the seconder? Is this how we're doing it?
That's correct. I'll just make it clear, just for my purposes, because I submit the check rec, so I don't want to get this wrong. Of course, that the application, the motion is that the application is received and the funding request is granted in the amount of $3,000.
Correct.
Right.
Perfect. Yeah, if you just get a mover seconder on that.
All right, may I have a mover and a seconder to put the item on the floor for discussion? Moved by Rosalind, second by Barb. Okay, does the committee have any questions or comments? No? Anybody? No? Okay, if there are no further comments, I'll call the vote. All in favor? That carries. Okay. We have nothing else to discuss, correct? No more informational items to do.
Just a motion to adjourn, Madam Chair.
May I have a motion to adjourn? Moved by Barb, second by Rosalind. All in favor? That carries.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate your time this morning.
Problem.